Vector 11, and tonight I'm going to do the review of the Roadmap Roundup, and just to do something a little different and get your ideas and your thoughts on things that need to be discussed about this. I find it to be a very, very intensely how can I put it? Um, this is a very controversial subject because of at this point in time, so many people are very, very um, disheartened, and they're wanting more in the game right now because of the fact that 317 has been such a very, very long um, cycle. We're all expecting 318 to be not controversial, to be a milestone. And it is. It is a major milestone for the game. And I have only been in the game almost a year, and this is one of the most um, massive things that I've seen so far. I know people have been waiting for salvage for years. I know people have been waiting for persistence because persistence is the road to server meshing and the road to 4.0, which is going to be the Pyro system, which is the new system that people are waiting for. So, I'm excited for it. I can't say that I'm not. I'm just going to hold my um, expectations down, even though I'm dying for this to come. Um, and there are some that are doing the same. Uh, 317 right now, there are a lot of players that have backed off the game because of the fact that of what has happened. 317, when it first came, was one of the most, it was stable. It was a good patch when it came. 317.1 hurt us. It hurt everybody. It was a very, very uh, controversial and very unstable patch for a lot of people. It affected me also as well. 317.2 did make a difference, but there was still the instability that people were upset about. And now we're in 317.3. We still have our issues, but not to the point where it was constantly a 30K. So now we're looking at IAE coming up, one of the biggest things that needs to be addressed, and everybody's waiting for the Corsair and things of that nature. So I'm going to get right to this. I'm going to look at the roadmap roundup, and we've all seen it. We've all taken a look at it. Um, there were some people that are looking at it as like salvage is not going to come because the Vulture is being delayed until 318. And then you also have the Corsair, which is a ship that a lot of people have been waiting for. I'm not saying everybody. I don't mean to generalize. Um, they're waiting for this as well. So what I'm going to do is just go through it and give my opinion as a player that is still new to the game, because I am. I haven't gone through all of the trials and tribulations that other players have. But with these notable changes and these things, I'm still very excited for it. So, here where it says notable changes for October 26, 2022. With this published, we've extended the majority of the downstream team's schedule into Q4 2022, with the few remaining coming into a subsequent publish. So here we are, Alpha 318. Now they said in last week's This Week in Star Citizen's post, we mentioned that our next major update, Alpha 318, has begun testing with our Evocati group, with our next test aiming to be later this week. Okay, it's Thursday already. As we mentioned, after evaluating data for our recent Evocati test, we're targeting early December for a live release. Okay, now this update will not impact IAE, which will now release an Alpha 317.4 patch. This has been reflected on release view with this publish. So we already know this. Then additionally, as the Drake Corsair is due to release during IE, we're moving its card on release view from 318s to column to 317. Okay? If we already know this, there's no problem with that. And I think it's a good move. It's a good move. Release view. Okay. The following card has been added to release view. Okay. So, CitizenCon, they dropped the Gray Cat STV in 317.3. Okay? So, we already have it. And here it is. Building, implementing, and balancing Gray Cat's industrial utility ground vehicle, the STV, as a game-ready vehicle. Okay? Now, we step away from this and we go to the following cards have passed their final review for Alpha 318. Therefore, we are changing their status to committed. Okay? Promised as committed. Committed. new rivers in Stanton, setting up biome-specific object rule sets around the bodies of water and distributing those, placing additional rivers and lakes on Microtech and Hurston. Okay, we've had the river at Microtech, and now they're adding more, and to Hurston. It's a monumental step for what they did with the one river. Okay, Sand Cave archetype, establishing the visual language creation pipeline and quality standard for a new Sand Cave archetype. With this release, cave networks using this archetype will be placed throughout the standard system. So we don't know where they are going to be, but they're coming in, and that's cool. I can't wait to try one out, to go in and check it out. And Security Post Korea reactivation. Okay, this brought up a lot of controversy in the community, and Security Post Korea will take a more central role. Oh, excuse me. In Stanton Security, Crusader Security has moved in full-time staff and has been storing confiscated contraband aboard. Unless given prior authorization, the station will be off limits to all civilians. So, as you know, and you've seen the ISC, the final ISC for the 3-week hiatus, here it says that this is the only place you can hack your crime stat above crime stat 2. Okay? There's going to be a lot going on around this area. A lot. Okay. So, new missions. Orison. Bounty, assassinate, clear all, and other missions to take place on the platforms created for Siege of Orison, which in future will be distributed across the planet of Crusader to create further content. So, this means that they're not only going to have it in this area, we're going to get to explore or Crusader more, which is monumental. I like it. I think it's going to be good, and it's going to give us a massive area to explore. And then that's all. So I'm going to go and hit the roadmap real quick. Okay, there's the progress tracker, but I'm going to go to the release view. Okay. And we got it. Okay. So, 317 released April 29th. Okay? And this was before they gave us time to play 317.0 before 317.1 hit, and that's when you had your ships and vehicles. Okay? So, now it's changed. Because of the fact you've got the STV released. Tentative, the Drake Corsair, even though it has been confirmed for 317.4. Then you have the Centurion, which came out in 317. Then you have the Mule, which came out early in the year after Invictus. Or during, it was during Invictus. Then you had the Scorpius. The Scorpius came out in 317.1. 317, we had the Hull A. And this entry, that was the river. Okay? So now we are waiting for this to come, which is 318, the Daymar crash sites, and New Rivers in Stanton. Okay? Those are showing committed. And here we have the Sand Cave archetype, and also committed the Gray Cat PTV racetrack, which is going to be really kind of cool. Okay? I think it's going to be fun. Then here we are. The gameplay, the cargo factor. We haven't heard anything yet, so this is tied in with salvage. The sandbox prison activities, I'm not really into it, but if it comes, it comes. It's part of 318, but it hasn't been committed yet. Then you have Security Post Korea, committed. New missions, Orison, committed. Now, salvage and hull stripping, okay? Tentative. And then we have it up here with the cargo refactor, same thing. Tentative. Ships and vehicles, the Vulture, tentative. Then you've got your weapons and items, the multi-tool salvage attachment, and the major one that makes everything of what 318 is. It's persistent energy streaming. So, this is the roadmap. And a lot of people were upset because they were going by this roadmap and they were going at it as a promise. With game development the way it is, and I'm not a game developer, I don't pretend to be, but in the way the PU is set up and the way things are going, we can only put our faith in CIG at this point and let them do their jobs. Let them do their jobs. I personally think that I can wait for all this to come. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's going to be great. It's just that they've got to buckle down and do what they got to do. And that's all we ask. That's all anybody can ask. You know? If they delay it, delay it. Take your time. Get it right. Make it work. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that it'll be stable. So we can enjoy it, give you our feedback on it, and then go from there. So, that's my thoughts on the roadmap and I hope you all enjoyed this. This is my first time doing a roadmap review, and I think it's going to be, we just have to let it go and see what we got. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's Shadow Spectre 11. I'm calling it a night, and I hope to see you in the next video. You all take care.